Hello, Courtney here. Welcome to Donkey Brains Vlog, Episode 3. This vlog is going to talk a little bit about my recent online poker results. The first thing we're going to talk about is my online results, all the poker that I played last month, how did I do, what was my EV, all that fun stuff. The second thing we're going to talk about is my overall results and spin and goes on PokerStars since the start of this year. I started playing them actually in August, and the second topic is going to talk about just how I've done since I started playing them. The third thing is going to be some analysis. So I'm going to talk about how much of my results is just variance, how much of it is me playing well or playing badly, and I'm just going to try to figure out how things are going according to stake as well. So that's the third topic. The fourth topic, I'm going to talk about my options with poker. So will I stick with spin and goes? Will I play another game? And so December and going forward on to next year. And the very last thing is December plans. So I'll talk about my options and then I'll talk about what I actually intend to do. Okay? So you'll get to hear all about my plans for the rest of 2015. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so here's a poker tracker graph of all the spin and goes that I played last month in November. As you can see, I played 701 games. The lighter green down here is my EV line. So these are the chips that I won over 701 games. In total, it is 11,819 chips in 701 games. That equates to earning 16.9 chips per game. And converted to an ROI, it's a negative ROI actually. It's negative 1.8%. Okay? So yeah, that was a really quick look at my November results. Now let's take a look at my chip EV graph for spin and goes since I started playing them earlier this year. As you can see from this graph, I've played 3,800 games, just over, and I've made 108,836 chips in that many games. That's my chip EV. That equates to a chips per game of 28.43, which when you convert it to an ROI, it's 0.4%. So it's positive, just not that high of an ROI. If you look at my expectations since basically around August, which is about when I switched to spin and goes full time, we'll go over the dollar expectation that I should have made since then, okay? So in 3,800 games with an average buy-in of 80, I'll have bought in for a little bit over $300,000. At a 0.4% ROI, it equates to a little bit over $1,200, okay? So that would be my profit, a little bit over $1,200. I've paid a little bit over $15,000 in rake to PokerStars. And since I'm a supernova, I get 40% of that back as rake back. So that's a little bit over $6,100 that I get in rake back. When you add the $1,200 that I make in profit pre-rake back to my rake back, I have a total expectation since the summer of $7,350, thereabouts, okay? So that's my total expectation since I started playing spin and goes. The good thing is that it is positive, so I have a positive expectation since I started playing. The bad thing is that it's a little bit lower than I would like it to be. So what I'd really like to do, is get my ROI a little bit higher than what it currently is. So a little bit higher than 0.4% so that I can be making more money pre-rake back. And then I'll be making more than what I'm making now. As it is, I've made a little bit below $2,000 every month since I started playing spin and goes. And yes, that's enough money to live on, so I am able to pay my bills with that amount of money. But I'd like it to be a little bit higher. So I'd like to be a little bit more than a Rakeback Pro. That's my goal going forward. We're able to break it down by stake as well. So in case you're curious how I've done in well, hundreds compared to 60s, I can bring up those graphs. And it's actually important for me to take a look at that because, well, it kind of leads into the analysis that I'm going to do in the next section, okay? So here's 60s. I've played a little bit, well, I've played over 1860s, and my chip EV per game in 60s is 32. That equates to a little bit over 1% ROI. Now let's switch to hundreds. This is my graph for hundreds. I've also played 1800 or above 1800 hundreds, and the results are a lot worse actually. I'm only making 21 chips per game in hundreds. That equates to a negative 1% ROI. All right, so that's a breakdown of 60s versus hundreds since I started playing spins earlier this year. All right, so let's do a little bit of analysis. Let's do some thinking and try to figure out why my results have been the way they've been. So since the start of October, my chip EV has been really bad. Basically, it was on an upward trend from when I started playing spins until October, and then since then it's been a downward trend. My chip EV has gotten a lot worse. It's definitely not a coincidence that at the start of October we lost the ability to use SpinWiz. So SpinWiz is a software for registering for spin and goes, but before October we were able to use SpinWiz to avoid regulars in our games. So we lost that at the start of October, and since then my chip EV has been a lot worse. It's not a coincidence. Obviously without SpinWiz I'm playing more regs, and I'm probably playing better regs since I wasn't really playing a lot of the really good regs back when we had SpinWiz. So I don't really think that I can attribute all of my negative chip EV to variance because I am playing more regs, and it all matches up. Lose SpinWiz, have a worse chip EV. The thing that tells me I am running bad though is that the slope of my chip EV graph significantly decreases versus non-regulars as well since the start of October. And that's weird. So what I'm saying is that when I play recreational players, so non-pros, pretty much, I mean, you would call them fish, but I call them just recreational players, people that don't play poker for a living, okay? The slope of my chip EV graph is significantly worse against those players as well since the start of October. And that I can't attribute to the loss of SpinWiz. I don't necessarily think that the ability to play spin and goes in non-regs has gone up that much that my slope or that my chip EV graph should be that much worse against them. And that part tells me I'm running bad, because here's the thing. Even if the recreational players got better since I started playing spins, I've gotten better too. I've actually gotten way better. I am a way better spin and go player now than I was 2 months ago. I've worked quite a bit on my game. I have much better ranges now. My post flop is way better than it was before. So why am I doing so much worse against recreational players? I don't know. The only explanation I have for that part is that I've been running pretty poorly the last couple months. So there's a little bit of playing more regs that's decreasing my ROI, but also the fact that also I've been running really bad. So there's both things to consider. From the overall results that we looked at, the breakdown of hundreds versus 60s though, it clearly shows that I lose more chips in hundreds, or I lose more chips to 100 regs than 60s regs. So I do more poorly playing hundreds, and actually when I take a look at some ROI numbers in reg games in hundreds versus 60s, I do a lot worse against 100 regs. Like, it's not even close. Yeah, hundreds are a lot worse for me. All right, let's talk about my options now. So the first option is to keep doing what I'm doing. I could keep playing $60 spins. I have about a 1% ROI in those, so I can keep grinding those, make money in those, and just continue on. If I did do that, it would definitely be 60s. It wouldn't be hundreds. I would stay away from hundreds for now. And it would be pretty high variance. If I assume that my ROI in 60s is 1%, I'm still going to have some really crazy spins. 1% is not a huge edge. And I have a really, really good bankroll for 60s, but still, I would have to endure quite a few swings. The second option is I could drop down to lower stake spins. There are a lot of regs that are doing this. They're playing 30s. And at 30s, the variance is a lot lower because the edge is a lot higher. So that's an option as well. Pretty much, there would, like, compared to 60s, there'd be almost no variance playing 30s, especially compared to hundreds. Gosh, wow. No variance poker. That sounds amazing. My third option is to change games. So I could go back to Heads Up, which I really enjoy. Or I could play, say, something like MTTs, okay? So kind of three options. Keep going in the 60s, drop down to something where variance is lower, or change games completely. So yeah, I've talked about how the swings at 60s are going to be pretty high. The other problem with sticking to 60s is that the hourly, honestly, isn't that great. While I'm streaming, I mean, the whole purpose of playing poker right now for me is to stream. I love, love, love Twitch. I love streaming. If you haven't seen me stream on Twitch yet, go ahead, twitch.tv/courtiebee, or click that link in the chat. I love it. It's pretty much the most fun thing I've found to do for a very long time. And the problem is, though, while I stream on Twitch, is that I can't really multi-table as well as I would without streaming, and I can't play as many tables. So I'm over having my tables. If I weren't streaming on Twitch, I'd be playing 4 tables, and I'd be loading them more consistently. Whereas when I stream on Twitch, I can only play 2, and sometimes I'm only playing 1 game, right? So that I'm able to interact with the chat better. Assuming that I only play 10 per hour on stream, if I'm only making 1% plus rake back, I'm only making like $18 an hour. And while $18 an hour is enough to pay bills, I kind of want to be making more than that. You know what I mean? $18 an hour is just a lot less than what I'm used to playing poker. So I want to make more than that. And like I said, if I weren't streaming, it would probably be fine. I could play over 25 an hour, and that's a respectable hourly for me. $18. It's not exactly where I want to be. And that's with the current rake back. It will get even worse next year. Rake back is decreasing on PokerStars. Instead of 40%, I'm going to be making 30%. So I'm going to be making even less than $18 an hour next year. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to do that. I'm not sure. So what am I going to do? I think in December, I'm going to play a bunch of MTTs. That's the plan. I'm still going to play Spin and Goes, but I'd like to start streaming a lot more MTTs. There's a couple really good reasons for doing that. The first one is that MTTs are very soft. The average skill level at MTTs a lot lower than at pretty much any other game. The second reason, though, is that, like I said, streaming is really important to me, and people love to watch MTTs on stream. People love watching MTTs on Twitch. That's just the bottom line. That's people's favorite thing to do when they go on to poker on Twitch. So I'd like to kind of get in on that. It sounds really fun to go deep, stream it, and I think it will bring more viewers to my channel. So I think it would be in my best interest and my channel's best interest to play some MTTs. So that's what I want to do in December. I want to try it out. I'm still going to play some Spin and Goes, especially during downtimes. Like, say, during the end of my session, maybe I don't have very many tables. I could mix in some Spin and Goes. So I can have them there as extra action. Or maybe I just don't feel like playing a long day of MTTs. Maybe I just want to play a short session. And if I do that, I can play spin and goes as well. And there's a little bit of downside to playing MTTs. The main one is that, well, there's two main things that I can think of. The first one is that the variance is super high in MTTs, especially in large fields. And so if I want the biggest edge that I can find, then I have to play large field MTTs. And that also comes with a buttload of variance, right? The larger the field, the bigger the variance. So that's one thing. I'm going to have to really use sound bankroll management. So I don't think my average buy-in is going to be that high for MTTs. So that's one downside. The second downside is that I do have to play longer sessions. And I'm not able to take breaks whenever I want to. So, there's a little give and take for playing MTTs. But we'll try it out in December and see how it goes. In fact, I am getting a coaching session tomorrow. There's a few things that I want to learn if I'm going to be playing a bunch more MTTs. The main thing is sizing. So I'm not so hot at sizing at all in MTTs. So that's pre-flop and post-flop. It's a lot different than what I'm used to, say, playing spin and goes or playing heads up. So I want to get my sizing down. And I also want to learn a little bit about ranges. So what people are playing as their pre-flop ranges and what my ranges should be. And that's like pre-flop, opening, 3-betting, even 4-betting, and that kind of thing. So those are the two main things, sizing and ranges, that I need to just have a quick primer on. And that's why I am getting the coaching session. I am getting some coaching so that I can get started on the right foot and kind of know what's going on right now in MTTs. I mean, I did play MTTs for a living a long time ago, back when I first started playing poker for a living. But it's been many years since I've played them, and everything has changed pretty much. So yeah, that's the plan for December. Gonna play a bunch of MTTs, and then I'm going to reevaluate in January. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and sub to my channel if you haven't already done so. Like I said earlier, if you'd like to watch me play poker live on Twitch, twitch.tv/courtiebee is the URL, or you can click the link down below. And down below, I actually also have a link to my blog. So if you'd like to see how I got started in poker, read some posts from multiple years ago, donkeybrainspoker.com is the place to go for that. The last link I have down below is a link to Poker Tracker. If you want to be able to make graphs like the ones I've made in this video, you can go ahead, click my link, and download a free trial to PT4. It's a 30-day trial, and you'll be able to just track your results, make a HUD, and take a look at all the graphs, or make graphs like the ones that I made earlier in this video. So the link down below to Poker Tracker 4 is where you should do that. And yeah, I think that's it. Thanks again. Like I said, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your attention. And I'll be back recording Donkey Brains Vlog episode 4 sometime next month, okay? So until then, take care, have a great day or night, whatever it is for you, and see you soon.